Good morning, guys. It's March 2nd of 2021. I'm Kimberly Jolly from Fat Quarter Shop Flosstube, and today I'm just going to stitch with you. It's our Stitchy Talk segment, and this week what I decided to do was do the finishing touches on the By Row pattern by Lori Holt. So these are just the final back stitches, and then once I get all the back stitches in, then I'm going to purchase the frame that you can see behind me. And we're waiting for those to come back in stock. They come in white, and then I'm going to paint it pink and then get it framed so it looks the same. So I'm just going to kind of jump right in. So here's my piece, and I stitched on Shadow 14 Count by Lori Holt, just plain Ada, and it's a shadow. It's kind of like a light gray slash white combined. And so the pattern calls for back stitches in between each row. Some long stitches actually on the tomato, the needle, and these are back stitches on the iron. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little tip on each of the intricate ones, and then we'll move to kind of this, which is more, it's not a chain stitch, but it looks more like a chain. So I'm going to kind of do a couple of pin cushions and show you how I do that, and we can chat. I'm going to first turn my light on so that you can see, so that I can see, and I'm going to change to my wonderful glasses so that I can see. Look, that's really the only way I can see. So basically I'm going to use two strands. So I take my strand of color 4 DMC, and I'm going to join the two ends. And I'm going to show you how I use just this one strand to do several things. So I've got a loop on this end. I'm going to thread my needle. And I'm going to, can we zoom in just a tiny bit? Okay, perfect. So these are just long stitches, so it's just from the center to the center to the center to the center. And so I'm going to show you, I'm going to start in the very center here with this green where the green touches, and that is actually an actual Ada hole. But over here, you're going in between. There's not a hole. If you had linen, there would be a hole there. So what I'm going to do, instead of doing it right on the edge, I'm going to go a little bit under the blue, because if I go under the blue, you're not going to see the edge of it. So I will catch the back in the loop, and then kind of move it in the center. And then go back to the center. Or actually, I'll just go back up here to the yellow. Now, if you put the needle in right there, you're going to see a little bit of white above it, which is kind of weird. So I'm going to move it slightly under the yellow, slightly under the X, which is not technically correct, but I think it's going to look better. And then go back down. And if you leave a little bit of a gap, you can kind of just see a white, which I don't think you should see. So then I'm going to, now you could just keep carrying from tomato to tomato, but I don't want to do that. So what I'll do is run my needle under 4 or 5 stitches, pull it a little taut, cut right to the edge, and now I've got this. So now I've got 2 strands left. I'm going to pull 1 strand and work with that and do a little loop. And then just keep doing. I'll do a couple of these, and then we'll move on to the next one. Now, if you have linen or even weave, you can go right in the hole. It's just in the Ada. I thought it looked kind of funny. So you could, if you wanted to, just go to one of the corners instead of going in the center. So right there, I'm kind of going a little bit to the left, like kind of under that X a little bit. And then I kind of move my thread right there, because if you leave it right here, sometimes you can see the thread on the front. So I'm going to do that. And then just go from here to here. Now there, I can see a little bit of the white. See that right there? See, there's a little bit of white between the blue and the gray. Can you see it? I don't like that, so I'm going to take it out. And do it again. Now that's me being totally nitpicky and ridiculous, and nobody would ever see that. So I'm just making sure it kind of hides behind the blue. Okay, that didn't work, so I'm going to start over. Move it a little bit. And you could do one strand if you want, but Lori meant for it to be 2 strands, so that's what I'm gonna do. And so when you pull you want these to stay nice and taut, but not, you don't want to pull it so much, so watch if I pull. You don't want to pull it so much that you put a hole right here. Like, you don't want to be able to see that. So you just pull this under enough stitches to where it's really secure. Pull, and then just pull a tiny bit. And then on this end, there's probably not enough to do another one, so I'll throw that away. I'll do one more and then we'll move down to another area. I'll just use this leftover piece that I have. So let me know if there's any questions. Another thing you could do is just go to the corner instead of right in the center. You don't have to go to the center if you don't want to.
Let's see, from Deborah Henderson, I stitch in a recliner. Can anyone help me make an informed decision on getting a lap stand or not? I'm having trouble keeping my place on 30 count linen.
Okay, so I have a video that's coming out on March 17th, and that will be when I'm going on spring break. And I'm going to show you the lap desk that I use. We have an Amazon link to it. I just bought it on Amazon. And the reason I use this particular lap desk is my phone. I can watch my phone, but I do use a lap desk. They're not expensive. I mean, you can get them anywhere. They used to have them in Michael's, and now they don't really have them inside the stores anymore, but I used one, and I also use it because I put my light that I use, my Halo Go light, on it. Okay, so I have those done. It looks pretty good. Okay. So now I'm going to do I'll move down to, oh wait, no, sew machine. I'll do this one, the little needle.
From Maria Schmitz, what size needle are you using?
I'm using a size 26 Pat Carson needle. And they look like this. And 25 come in a package, and they last me probably a year. When I am stitching, what I have found, because I do the stitch in hand and I do this a lot, my needle will bend. And so once it starts bending too much, that's when I replace it. Okay, so I've got the same thing. I've got a loop at the end, and I'm just going to add the little needle. So I'm just looking at my pattern. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to start in the center right here, like in between these stitches, in between that middle stitch. And it says to go down 3.5. 1, 2, 3.5. that might look a little funny. I'm just going to go down 3 and see. The hardest part when you're working with Aida is to get this straight because there's no holes there. Now, if you were using an even weave or a linen, you would have a hole there. So, like I said, you just want it to be straight. Something looks funny there. It looks like a little piece of the Aida pulled up. You see that little white thing right there? Okay. Okay, something's funny there. I'm not sure what. Let me pull this out. Now this is when this is why sometimes I take forever. So now it's gone. Okay, let me try again. Let's see. This is probably the only time that when I'm stitching I wish I worked with even weave is when you're in the middle. You have to do the middle stitch. Otherwise,
can you push it up a little bit?
Okay, so let's look and see. Okay, so now I'm going to run the stitches under. So I'll probably go here to the left and I'll go to the right a little bit just to secure it some more so that, because it's just one stitch, I don't want it to come out. And then just cut, and then I'm going to do the other 3. I'll do all these 3 at one time just so that they're the same.
And from Candace K, shouldn't the backstitch be done with 1 strand?
The backstitch on this pattern is meant for 2 strands. If you're doing a backstitch and you're doing a lot of outlining, that's when you usually would use 1 strand. But Lori wanted this pattern to be 2 strands. So it depends on the designer preferences, and she really wanted it to pop out, so that's why she's using 2 strands. But of course, if you want to use 1 strand, you can use 1 strand. And you could just do, you know, 1 with 1 strand, 1 with 2 strands, and then kind of sit back and look at it and see what you think looks best. The main thing I'm trying to do here is just make sure it's pretty straight vertically, yeah, and then kind of have that lie nice and flat instead of loopy. And then, like I said, I'm going to go in one way and then the other way so it doesn't come out. And you could do where you do 3 stitches instead of 1 long stitch, but I think it looks better as a long stitch. So when you're doing back stitches or anything like this, you can kind of customize it what you think looks best on your piece. So 1 more needle. Sorry, Lily, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you're good. From Faye Dixon, I am amazed at how easy you thread that needle. I struggle with that all the time. Do you fold the floss over when you go to thread?
So this, if I do a boa needle, which boa needles seem to be a little bit sharper on the point, those are harder to thread, but the Pat Carson is easy. So what I do is I just kind of pinch the fabric, the thread, and then I just put in the hole. But it is harder on some needles versus others. And I do this kind of all the time, so I kind of get used to it. So 1 more needle. With the Aida, it's kind of hard to get in the hole. 1, 2, 3. and it looks straight. And then I'll run the thread through, and then we'll go to the iron plug cord.
Yeah. Oh, can you push it up a little?
Mm-hmm. So I went in under 2 different directions just because it's one stitch. And when I do clip my threads, I clip like this instead of like this. And I try to just have really sharp scissors so that I go like this. Now, if you use really big scissors and try this, you might clip your fabric. So I try to use very sharp scissors, and my fingers can tell you that because I have cut my fingers with these scissors. These scissors are dangerous, I'm not kidding, so you just have to be careful.
They are dangerous.
Yeah, and my kids have seen me cut my fingers many a time, and they always say, "Didn't you learn from last time?" No, I didn't. So I'm trying to just cover the pattern a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to do now is here. And I'm going to just see how it goes. I haven't done one of these yet. So I'm going to do the same thing. Just pull a thread, loop it. This one's kind of, see how it's knotted? It's all loopity-loop. That's about my morning right there. Oh my gosh, y'all.
Loopity-loop.
Oh my gosh. So I got in the car this morning, and I usually don't look at myself in the mirror. I have no idea why I was looking at myself in the mirror. And I have on 2 different earrings. And then I try to go to Starbucks, and they didn't have black tea. So I was like, okay, so I try to go to another Starbucks, and they didn't have black tea. So I was like, what's going on with black tea? So maybe there's a shortage. I don't know. I hope they didn't discontinue it because...
I don't think they would. That's a very, like, baseline item they should usually have.
So I don't know. When I'm done, I'm going to Google it. So now that I have it kind of undone, I'm going to just straighten it out a couple times. And it'll be normal. And I'm going to do the loop method. And usually when I'm stitching, I use my Halo Go Light. It's too hard to do in the videos, so that's why I'm only using my glasses. But a lot of times at home, okay, now I'm going to roll this up so it's out of my way. I use my glasses and my Halo Go, and Kevin comes to the bedroom and he's always like, those glasses are ridiculous. And I'm like, get out of here.
I think they're cute.
Oh, he does not. Okay, so I'm going to try to just do this like I would do it, and then we can talk through it. Because if I talk at the same time, I think I can talk. So I'm no expert on this, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I'm hoping I'm doing this right. We'll see. So when I'm doing the backstitch, I will talk more about it when I do it as a straight line, but I just, like, I wouldn't, okay, so I'm going to go down here, right? I'm not going to come back up here. I'm going to go to the next one. If you go back in that same hole that you were just in, you'll start getting knots. Oops. So this I'm kind of just kind of getting the feel of it because it's the first time I did it. And then if I don't like the way it comes out, I'll just pull it out. That's what I do sometimes with back stitches, is just, you know, try and see what you think.
They have iced guava black tea.
I don't like that. I don't like anything but black tea. I don't like peach tea. I don't like raspberry tea. I only like black tea. And I mean, I can remember going to she wasn't my grandmother. She was my mom's stepmom. But I didn't call her grandmother because my mom didn't like her. And if I would have called her that, my mom would have killed me. And I used to go to her house, and she would always offer me tea, and I would say, only if it's fresh. And it was never fresh, so I would never drink anything when I was over there. Okay, I just went in the wrong hole, I think. I've always drank tea. Like, we used to do that sun tea that was popular, where you would just make it and put it in the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is showing that they have regular black tea also. Sorry.
No, they do have black tea.
Okay.
It's just not at the stores. So there's 2 stores I go to on the way, and neither one had it. So there must be a shortage or something. I don't really know.
Well, both Buda and Kyle have regular black tea.
It's not in stock if you try to do it.
Huh.
It's not in stock. Today, it's not in stock. Okay, so maybe that was the right hole. I'm going to keep trying to see if I'm in the right hole.
Can you push it up a little bit? Thank you.
Yeah, I'm off somewhere, I think, but I'm trying to figure out where I'm off. No, I'm not off. And I do think when you're doing the straight stitch, doing the stick and stab, where you do one at a time, you're going to get neater stitches. If you start doing the sewing method, where you kind of do this type of thing, I'll show you on the next. Your stitches are not going to be as neat, which might be okay with you. But this will make them lie really. If you go one at a time, it's going to make it lie flat. Now, when I'm doing backstitch, I will look on the back to make sure I don't have a big mess, and I don't, because sometimes they get messy.
All right, from Christine Jella, when Kimberly frames her sew by row, is she going to have glass in the frame? Trying to decide what to do.
Yes, I'm going to have glass, and I'm going to take it to my framer. I'm going to probably have Denise paint it for me, because Denise is a better painter. But I have to wait for the frame to come in. I really want to use the pink frame. I want to use that frame, and I want to use pink. And I know exactly where it's going to go in my sewing room, so. Okay, so that looks nice. It's a little thick, but I think it looks nice. It might look good also as a single stitch. Now, we have to do the last 2 plugs, like to finish the plug off. So I'm going to try to do that and see if we get those flat. Ooh, it looks good.
Oh, it does say not sold at this store.
I know. I told you I had to call Denise because I was on the toll road. Because I usually order my tea. I do it in the car, but I do it at the red light, and I just say repeat previous order, right? You just click 2 buttons. And it didn't, I order it before I leave my house. So when I left my house, I knew they weren't going to have it. So then when I drove to the other one, now I'm going to kind of hide this under my previous stitches. When I went to the other one, they didn't have it, and then I was on the toll road, so I called her and said, well, do they have it in Kyle, which is like another city? And they didn't, so I went to Starbucks and got tea, but, I mean, not Starbucks, went to Chick-fil-A, but I didn't even drink it. I don't know, I really.
Oh, yeah, wow, that's weird.
So now what I will do, usually, is, I'm not even going to look at the pattern now, I will just keep stitching. I'm going to do one more over here, and I'll just copy this one, because that's easier for me. So then they're just all the same, so that if I did something different here than the pattern, you know, I might have. I don't think I did, but if I did. And here's my thread. I have it on my board, and this is kind of my leftover. So I'll just pull one strand out. Backstitching is probably my least favorite part, because it goes slower, because instead of doing the sewing method, I do the stick and stab method. So it goes a little bit slower, and I'm a perfectionist, so that kind of slows me down too, but that's okay.
Let's see. Betty Perch Peterson says Starbucks had some trucks canceled, so they ran out of product, but they should be getting the black tea back in soon.
Hallelujah, because I'm gonna be dehydrated. Lily said, "Would you like some Dasani?" I was like, "No, thanks."
It's not tea.
Well, in the morning, I can drink water later in the day, but not. I think I'm trying to wake up. I didn't sleep good last night. I don't know what happened. I have to ask Emma. But in the middle of the night, she comes in our room in the middle of the night, and she hit me and she said, "Stop! I'm trying to sleep." And I was like, "What do I need to stop doing?" So I must have been talking in my sleep. I'm not really sure what I was doing, but I have to ask her. She's in school right now, though. But I must have, I did not sleep good.
Can you push it up a little bit?
Oh, yeah, sorry. And look, this is so funny. Okay, look at that. That is a little, right there, that's the edge of when I do my half square triangles, that's like a little piece that fell off.
A little dog ear.
Yeah, dog ear. I don't know why that would be in there, but okay.
Madison Moyer says, I'm originally from Austin. I will be there in May and want to drive down to the shop for the first time.
Yeah, we don't have any visitors. We have insurance. Our insurance agent won't let us, but also we're not meant for it.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where I kind of got messed up earlier. Okay, I think I go there.
Okay, and a few people were saying the cord should end one line lower?
Yeah, I think I'm off a little bit, but that's okay.
Okay.
I'm just going to leave it. I think I'm off. Let me see. Yeah, I think you're right. Let me look. Maybe that's where I'm off. Yeah, you're right. Okay, let me start over. That's where I'm off. Okay, so this one I'm going to pull the thread out. But see, and this is how I get off, is when I don't have my Halo Go light because my vision is so bad. So this is a perfect example. So here I'm not even going to worry about this thread. I'm going to just pull all this out, and then I'll, I knew I was off somewhere, but if I don't have my Halo Go, I get off because you can't see. I swear I need to go get eye surgery again. So here, to pull this out, I will cut in a couple of spots. But I'm glad that I knew something was off, I just didn't know what, and when I'm talking, I can't really concentrate. Okay. So then I'll just pull from back here. Oops. This is my morning right here. No, get away, go. Get away. You know what I say in my sewing room when I get mad? I think poopity poop poop poop. That's how I feel right now. It's like poop.
It's really funny.
It's funny. But I want my cord to be right.
Everyone agrees, even though the cord was off, it looked great.
Thanks. Yeah, I probably would have never even noticed. I knew I was off somewhere, but yeah. Okay. So now that I've pulled that thread out, one thing that I'm going to do is, because I'm OCD, get my little handy dandy tape. It's just double-sided sticky tape. It's super strong. And I just kind of do this on the front and the back, and if there was any gray residue left over, it would come out. Oh, sorry, I can't see. I'm like a clown today. I can't see anything. Oh, because I'm trying to look two places. Okay, redo. Okay, round two. It's like a boxing match, round 2. Isn't that what they say on a boxing match?
Yeah.
Yeah, something. I was like, okay.
It's round 2. I don't think you're fighting your cross stitch piece though. I hope not.
No. I'm excited. I love this one. I really, really love this one. I can't wait. It's one of those ones where I know where I'm going to put it in my house, so I'm excited. I just need the frame to come in stock. Okay, so now we're starting again. We're starting in the right spot. Yay! Ooh. Oh, there's a little piece.
From Sandy Y, now I'm wondering if I was taught wrong many years ago. I backstitch 1 square at a time instead of 3 at a time like you just did when you started the iron cord.
Okay, you can do either. So you can do a back stitch as 1, or I'm doing it more as a long stitch because I think it looks better with Ada because you won't be able to hit each hole. You can do each one. So let me show you. Well, let me see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So here, you can't really go here and then from here to here because it won't do an exact X. So it would be more ziggity zag. It's not an exact hole. So this is more of a long stitch technically. I mean, I still call it a back stitch though. So you can do it either way. On this one, the cord doesn't go along the Ada this exact way, so I'm doing a long stitch. I think I'm off again. I am. We might have to just say the iron cord's not going to be done today. I'm only doing one of these, and then we might just be done. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think this is in the right spot either. Okay, I'm having a hard time seeing 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, try again. So I think I had everything in the right spot except for that very first stitch. So yeah, this technically is a long stitch.
And we did get a super chat earlier from Valeria Bauer for $9.99. She put a little pair bowing down and saying thank you. And she also said, Kimberly, a while back you showed how to do the math to know the size of a different cloth. Could you tell me what episode that was? You can find that, I think.
I don't know the episode, but I can talk you through it. So what you do is you take your stitch count, which should be listed on your pattern. Divide it by your Ada version, so either 14. If you're working with 28, then you would divide by 14, and then that's your finished size, and then you add 6 inches or 4 inches for your border. Okay, but I don't know what episode that was. Maybe we should just do an episode on just that. Yeah. It's going to be part of our beginner series that we're going to do in June.
From Madison Moyer, does your Ada start out stiff and loosen over time, or do you use a brand that is soft from the get-go?
Mine is stiff. I prefer mine to be stiff. It softens a little bit, but I like my Ada to be stiff. So, but I use Witchell, I use Lori Holt's, and I use Fabric Flare. Now, if you buy something at like a super center type place, you're going to get something that's super, super stiff, and sometimes those are too stiff. But I wouldn't wash it or anything. I would just, it'll loosen. Oh my goodness, I might have done it with no mistakes. Oh, it does look good. It looks better. Yay.
From Lydia Miranda, when you use the light, do your eyes feel like they get dry, and do you use eye drops?
No and no. And I don't use eye drops because, oh my gosh, if I had to put something in my eyes, I'd probably freak out. When I go to the eye doctor, I won't even let them dilate my eyes. Like, I will just be like, yeah, no. So I don't know how I think I'm going to have eye surgery because I'm a big old baby. No, I'm not kidding. Like that stuff where they blow the air in your eye. Oh no, you're not doing that. That will not let them. I'm like, sorry, I'm not letting you do that. I freak out. Yay! Okay, let's see if it's right. Hopefully it's right. Woo, I'm not doing another one on camera though. Hopefully it's right. Okay, so now I'm gonna do one of these lines. And I will start with the loop method. And it's easier to go, if you're right-handed, it's easier to go right to left than it is to go left to right. So I'm gonna go right to left because I'm right-handed. Now Denise is left-handed, so she would go left to right. Okay, so hopefully I'll get in the right spot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, so I'm going left to right. And get that nice and flat. And then I'm going to just go left to right. Down the whole thing. So you just go left, right, left, right. So what you could do, since you're right-handed, that will make it go quicker, is you can do this, which is the sewing method. You go in. This is why I said it's quicker if you're right-handed, because you just do this right here. Now, if you do stick and stab, it's going to look better. So I'm going to do stick and stab. But if you are doing this and you want to go faster, you can do the sewing method and just do this. I'll do it a little bit. Maybe I will do this. We'll see. And you can just go. You don't want to go. So basically you're going like left, right. You don't want to kind of go like this where it's straight across because your tension's going to be off. So that's why I'm doing it this way. And you just go across. So I'll do it a little bit stick and stab and a little bit this way. So what I mean is, like, okay, see how I went from left to right? You wouldn't want to then go right like this, right to left. You don't want to do that. Like these two stitches, you don't want to do it this way because your tension now looks off. You can see the difference in the two. See how that's flat and that's puffy?
Oh yeah.
So you just want to, kind of go against, I don't know how to explain it, but that's the way you want to do it.
From Carolyn Pons, I'm learning the pin stitch. Would you use it to start 28 count doing 2/2, or is it really for higher counts fabric and 1/2?
The pin stitch, I am not an expert at. Lori Holt actually showed me how to do it. I'm too scared to do it, but if you're going to do it, it's better. It's too hard to do on Ada because you're going to get a big bulky part. So 28 count is perfect to do it on. I don't know. I mean, eventually I'll get it. Now, I kind of have this on my threads fabric, so I'll just kind of unroll it as I go and just keep it in my hand. So I do try to keep wherever I'm doing my left arm steady. And so if I'm on my couch or chair, I keep my left hand still and then just move my right hand. And of course, if you started on the left side and you wanted to go left to right, you could just flip it over and then you would be going the right direction.
Nancy McFall says, does it matter where the cord ends? Since you went back and fixed it, like, do you feel you had to fix it, or would it have been okay if you hadn't fixed it?
I think it looks better. I had the cord starting here instead of here, and it looks way better this way. So I'm glad I redid it. But if y'all didn't tell me, I wouldn't know. But yes, it does look better. I try not to change the designs too much. I just have bad eyesight, so that was just I don't know, it's hard to talk and stitch at the same time. Mm-hmm. But I will tell you, it's easy to watch Netflix and stitch. I have watched so much stuff. Now I have like a habit. I have Hulu, YouTube, Netflix, Sundance Now, and Discovery Plus. And I'm still out of stuff to watch. I have watched so much stuff. Sundance Now has a lot of stuff from BBC, which I guess that's British
Broadcasting Channel?
Yeah, so they have a lot of true crime I've never seen and I've never heard of, so I'm finding new stuff.
That's good.
Yeah.
From Erin Ledbetter, when you do the loop method, but it calls for 3 strands of floss, do you go up or down?
You can't do the loop method with 3. Because you have an even number of threads and you need an odd number.
Yes.
No, you need an even number, not an odd number. Okay, so now I'll look. It looks pretty even. Yay! Okay, so see, I'm probably gonna run out of thread, but we'll see. We'll see. Now, I'm just gonna put my needle in between the 2 strands and divide it. And that will keep it straight. It'll kind of get my threads straight again. But I don't think that's going to make it all the way over there. So we'll see how far we get.
And Michelle Linen was asking, what are your 3 favorite stores in Utah when you go visit Lori?
Oh my gosh, that is so easy. Quilted Bear. Waffle Love, that's not a store, but we're going to pretend it is. Okay, Quilted Bear. And then we go to this place called Home Again. Mm-hmm. It's a antique store. And we used to go to Kirkland's, but they closed Kirkland's, and we go to Home Goods. And the Home Goods in Utah is better than the Home Goods in Texas. I can tell you that by a mile. But mainly Quilted Bear. That's my favorite place. So I'm hoping to go back to Lori's in April. I just have to figure out my schedule. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Quilted Bear is my favorite.
Gabriel Fuentes is asking, how is Denise? How are you, Denise? Denise is doing well, thank you. And Princess P. Holly Martin said, Kimberly should watch Widower. It's a 3-episode Dateline that's available on the NBC app.
I already watched it.
Oh, of course.
It was good. Okay, so I'll tell you about that one. Okay, so now I'm gonna loop this. I don't have enough, so I'm gonna loop this through the end. So I'm gonna kind of just do through some stitches to get it really nice and really back there. Oh, I did watch that. So it was a 3-part series, and I didn't even know it was coming out. My sister-in-law texted me and said, hey, this is coming out. I think it'll be really good. Uh-huh. So I watched it, and then my brother never used to watch this stuff. So then he texted me on the last episode and was like, are you watching this? And I was like, yeah. Anyway, it was good. I hadn't even heard of that story either. So Yeah, but it definitely had some, it was good. The thing I didn't like about it was its Dateline, but there were no Dateline correspondence. So I was like, where is Keith and where is Andrea and where are the Dateline? But I think that they had just recorded it over such a long time, or they took footage from a different company that had been working on this story forever. So, but yeah, I was like, where's Keith? Yeah, I did watch that. Yeah, and then I've been watching Exhumed, which is new on Oxygen. It's directed by Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelo.
Oh.
And let's see. I've been watching all kinds of stuff.
Let's see. This was just a really great comment. Stitching with the Sisterly said, "Holy moo, look at all those perfect flat stitches."
Aw.
I love holy moo.
Holy moo.
Holy
That's what I should say. I say biscuit instead of bad words. When I just say, oh, biscuit. So now I can say, oh, holy moo. And then Lily's going to be like, what? She's strange.
Okay. Yeah, Chris R. is asking if you have watched the Fifth Estate episodes.
Oh, yep. Not all of them, but I think it's great. I guess it's like a Canadian true crime. It's great.
Oh.
I love the voice. It's like a manly, well, it's a man voice, and he's very it's, I wouldn't say it's similar to Keith, but it's Keith Morrison, but it's he definitely has like I like his voice. Whoever, I don't know who the guy is, but I guess that's like a TV show in Canada, kind of like Dateline. And I also, okay, there's a guy I really like called That Chapter. And his name is Mike, and he basically records in front of like a black curtain. And he is so funny, and he's from Ireland. And so I like his channel. It's called That Chapter. He's funny. So there we go. Ooh, looks good. I'm proud of it. So now I'm going to weave that under, and then I'll do one more. You could pull this thread up here and weave it under the cross stitches, but I just don't want to.
Thread Needle is asking if you've watched the Yorkshire Ripper.
I think so.
Sorry, is it Yorkshire or Yorkshire?
Yorkshire, I think. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I think I have, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I should do a true crime podcast. I like to watch Bailey Sarian because she's very funny.
Oh, yeah.
I like to watch her. I watch anything. I watch Dave Matthews concerts. I must have watched like the same concert 20 times. Okay, so now I'm going to start back over here. So I'm going to roll my fabric back up just to get it kind of out of the way. And then I'm going to go right to left.
Can you push up a little bit, please?
Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Carolyn Petrie said, I just have my pins on the tomatoes to do, then I'm done. I've loved this stitch. It was so much fun. What will be the next stitch along? Prim, I want to be ready.
The next stitch along is Prim and Proper. And this week will be, is this the first week? And so I'll show that tomorrow. Are we supposed to be done with the first week? Okay, so we'll show it tomorrow. And it's also by Lori Holt. It's really pretty.
Oh, and apparently it is Yorkshire, not Shire. Thank you, everyone.
Is that what I said? I think it is. I think I was right. I don't know.
Yes, sure, not Shire. Yorkshire.
Yeah, I mean, I was into true crime even when I got out of college. I went to Europe, and I did the Jack the Ripper tour. So I was even into true crime then.
Oh.
Went to, like, they have a thing where you go to the bar where they think he was last seen, or
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
whatever. I don't know. You know, it's probably folklore. They probably just taking your money.
Still fun, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, my kids are like, "What do you want to do for spring break?" I'm like, I don't know. I want to go look at haunted houses or something, or go to like true crime, and they're like, oh, we want to go skiing, which is like the last thing in the world I want to do. So I don't know what we're gonna do, but if we go skiing, I'm not gonna ski. I'm gonna. Oh no, I will not ski. I will break my leg.
Yeah, I was like, I would want that video.
No, I'm not. No, I will sit in the coffee shop and stare at them, but I am not skiing. So I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't really want to go anywhere, but we kind of have to do something.
And Denise Marie was asking, I don't know if anyone has this yet, but will the stitch quarterly ship on time, and will there be a sneak peek?
Okay, we're talking about, Denise says we're talking about it tomorrow. It's slightly delayed, and the reason it's delayed is the bag that it's packaged in was delayed, so we'll have all the details tomorrow. It's not delayed too much, just a couple weeks. So yeah, the bag, we have a special bag made for it, and it hasn't arrived yet. And the sneak peek will just come a little bit later. We still will have a sneak peek. It'll just be a little bit later. It's really cute. I'm gonna stitch it as part of Mania, so I'm excited. I think it's really cute. I like the fabric. I think everybody will like it.
Pokey Little Pineapple says, hi Fat Quarter Shop, what's happening to Needlework Expo this year? Really enjoyed a video of it.
Okay, so Needlework Market was canceled because of contact. So there is a different company that's doing Needlework Expo. And it's basically an online version of the cross stitch show. It is Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So I'm going to come up to work Saturday with Denise and Cheryl, and you go to the different vendors and you order. You go in the rooms just like you would virtually, and you order. So we're going to come Saturday, and we're putting on, you know, as it comes in, it'll be in stock. We have some stuff on coming soon page. We have there are three new Classic Colorworks colors. There are 2 new Belle Soie colors, and there is 1 Weeks Dye Works color. And those should be here any day. Like, I think the Classic Colorworks might come today or tomorrow. So when I'm stitching, you see that my needle just kept unthreading. So that means it's time to end and then start over. So anytime my needle just starts unthreading like that, I'll just say that's the end. And then weave that under and then finish this. And then maybe I'll could do one more of these.
Then from Marsha Rott, not really backstitch related, but is there a trick to French knots? I have watched videos and I struggle every single time.
Yes, I would do a colonial knot. And Cheryl has done a video on our Fat Quarter Shop Flosstube on a colonial knot. And that's what I do. It's you go to the left instead of the right, and you wrap. I think once instead of twice. Excuse me. And I'll probably do a video. A Stitchy Talk. I'll probably do that in a future Stitchy Talk when we get to one that has French knots. I also don't like French knots. The other day when I did the February Sampler of the Month by Country Cottage Needleworks, it took me, I'm not kidding, 2 hours to do the French knots or something because I kept redoing everything. I just kind of start over until I like them.
And then Lori Holt had said, come here to Utah to ski, and you can come to my house while Kevin and the kids ski.
Yeah, I don't think my kids would like that. They would be jealous.
Oh.
They would say, no. No, I think we're gonna go to South Carolina and go to the beach. And Emma was like, that's what we always do. And I was like, well, I don't know what else you want to do. It's hard because she has brothers and they don't really like the same thing she does. So she wants to do one thing, the brothers want to do one thing. Whatever we do, they'll be fine with. We just of course, we're planning last minute like we always do, and we have to find one hotel that we can get a reservation at.
And we did have a super chat earlier from Lori Roth for $19.99, and Lori Roth put a little pair dancing around that says, "You are amazing."
Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Much appreciated.
Dun, dun, dun. Yay! I'm so excited. They look good. I was nervous. Okay, and I'll do one more cord or whatever y'all want me to do. I'm excited. And I'm going to finish this today. I'm so excited.
Woohoo!
I'm excited because I know exactly where this is going. I just need to... get the frame.
From Sew It Your Style. Hey, Kimberly, have you watched Vanishing at Cecil Hotel?
Okay, Vanishing at Cecil Hotel. Yes, I did watch it. I have mixed feelings. I feel like not everybody's going to know what I'm talking about, but I think that documentary was either really good or really bad.
Oh.
They turned a story that was a 5-minute story into 3 hours and went down all these rabbit holes that they knew were not really needed. And there were some YouTubers on there, some that I really respect and some that I find are more sensationalized and lie to get viewers. Did I just say that? Anyway, so it was interesting. Yeah, I watched it the day it came out. Yeah, and then Biggie, there's a documentary on Biggie. It came out yesterday. I watched that yesterday. So basically on Netflix, I watch, when they come out each month, they have this is what's coming this month. And the same day it comes out, I watch it. They are going to have on this Wednesday, they have something else coming out this Wednesday that's crime related. I can't remember what it is, but there is something crime related coming out on Netflix this Wednesday. Yeah, I also felt like it was a bit exploitative to the family. I felt like they exploited the situation and, yeah. But I thought it was good. But I thought, okay, this is the way to say it nicely. It was good. Part of it was unethical. I want to direct, if that's what I'm going to do when I retire from here, I'm going to direct a documentary, and it's going to be like the best documentary ever. I can't imagine.
From Ana Sendejas, good morning, Kim. What is your favorite 14 count fabric?
Wow.
Good question.
Wow. I like Witchell, Fabric Flare, and Lori Holt, all of those. If I had to pick a color, I would pick Beautiful Beige or Lamb's Wool Witchell. Do you think that's right? Do you think that's right?
Did you say Lamb's Wool?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like Lamb's Wool.
Or chalkboard black. Or I do like antique white. For white, I like antique white. And I do like the feed sack by Lori Holt. That's my favorite color she has, the feed sack. I don't know. It's hard for me to pick. You will, yeah. Yeah. I can't pick just one. It's like, what is that commercial? You can't just pick one? M&M's?
Lay's.
Oh,
Can't
Lay's.
have just one.
Yeah, that. See, I don't even know it.
Wilma Evans is asking, how is Piggy?
He's good. He's a bad dog. Okay, I'm off somewhere. Let me redo that. He's good. He now wears okay, what do you call it? A belly band.
Oh yeah, in the diaper.
It's not a diaper, but it's like a little belly band. So he's actually much better because he knows, like, he's not trying to go to the bathroom now.
Oh, good.
But, I mean, if I take it off, he will try. So no, he's good. He has to go to the vet this Friday for just like general checkup, and he's really, I didn't know this about pugs, but they're horrible at the vet. Like he doesn't bite, but he will not cooperate at the vet. So they always tell me I have to give him all these medicines before I bring him, and I refuse to do it. So I just take him, and then I tell them they have to give him the medicine because otherwise he will, he's really bad at the vet. But he's good. He's really good. He's really cute.
Yeah, he is.
Lily got to see him. He was so cute.
I did. I was so happy.
He's a good boy.
Gotta pet the piggy.
Okay, so I got off somewhere. Who knows where?
Have I told you that Cruz has said we should get a pig and name him Puggy?
Yes, and I think you're crazy. You're not getting a pig.
Well, unfortunately not. We can't have more animals right now, but would love to have a pig.
Oh my gosh, Lily, you're crazy.
Maybe one day.
A pig? Pig is for a farm.
I hear they're really good, though.
They're supposed to be really smart, actually.
Yeah. All right. Question.
Probably smarter than my dog. My dog's not. Kevin told me one time we were at a park and there was this dog and he was so well behaved, and he looked at me and he was like, "Do you see the difference between him and your dog?"
Aww.
And I was like, "Shut up." That's what I always tell him. I'm like, "Shut up." And then my kids are always like, "You're being mean to Mom."
Aww.
Just because they know, yeah.
Question from Rosie Forlano, and a lot of other people have had this question actually. What is Mania?
Okay, so we're going to call ours FQS Stitch Mania, and in May I will stitch something every day, which is very similar to what I do in Stitchtober, Jolly July, Jolly Housewives, Be Mine, all of those. And so Stitch Mania was started by 2 people, and they had a Facebook group. And they just encouraged people to start stitching in May. They decided they're going to close their group. I'm not sure why. And but I'm just going to continue, but I'm going to call mine FQS Stitch Mania. And I don't do a different start every day. I do a couple different projects and kind of do it throughout the month. So it's just something that came up. It was a Facebook group, and so we're just calling ours FQS Stitch Mania. So I'll do this right here. We'll see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so when I count, I do this. Watch. The holes, and that's why I like Ada, because I can count 8 instead of 16. So I do count by doing that. Okay, I'm going to make sure I'm in the right spot though before I go on. 3 or 4. Okay. So I'm going to do this one. Are there any questions, Lily?
Yes. From Irish Princess, as you continue to recover from snowpocalypse, how long is it taking for shipping? I'm patiently waiting for my Shine On DMC thread.
If you didn't order yardage and you only ordered a notion, you should be in good shape. I would just email elva@fatquartershop.com and you can find out.
And from Karen Tingstad, I have difficulty inserting my needle under the floss on the reverse side to tie off. Could my stitching be too tight?
Yeah, or your needle could be not pointy enough.
Oh, like
maybe maybe it's too blunt right here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Christine Gillum says that I should read Mercy Watson books by Kate DiCamillo. Apparently Mercy is a wonderful pig they call a porcine wonder. She especially likes toast with a great deal of butter. That sounds lovely. I'm going to look that up right now.
I have no idea what you just said. That's so funny.
Book recommendation with a cute pig.
I used to read books a lot, and now I don't.
Oh, there's a whole collection of them on Audible.
About the pig?
About the pig.
Oh.
And it's $6. Do you think you would ever get another piggy?
No. I think if I got, like, if Piggy died, I would probably, it would either get a pug from the pug rescue that was already potty trained, or I would just get another dog, because pugs are really they're very good dogs, but they're very stubborn, and that's the problem with them, is that they're so stubborn that they sometimes things cannot be fixed with them. They're notorious for trying to mark their territory, and, like, I don't know. They don't listen very good. Our neighbor's dog is so well behaved. I'm like, oh, that's lovely, because my dog is not behaved. I don't know. Emma's like, you don't discipline enough. I'm like, okay, you say I'm too strict as a mom, but I don't know. I don't even think I'm strict. I think I'm pretty unstrict. She doesn't know what strict is. Oh. I always tell her, I'm like, if my father was raising you, you would have never survived. You would never be able to survive because people, they're just like a different generation. Sometimes when she talks to me, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I think it was easier for my mom to raise me because she was a lot younger when she had kids. So she could understand. And some of the stuff Emma tells me, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't want to know what you're talking about, but okay. It's just harder when you're older, and you're just like, what? I don't understand anything you're saying. Sometimes I ask Lily what she's talking about, and still I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'm going to choose to pretend that I... Ooh, it's starting to look really good.
So we do have a question from Lisa Brown. I'm using black fabric for the monthly markings. Any hints for using it? I'm having trouble seeing the holes.
I would use a light, and some people say that if you put like a white pillow below you or something white, it will help reflect the light up. You could also do a light pad in your lap. I would just try to find one that's super skinny and not going to put a lot of weight so that it becomes uncomfortable. But I just use Halo Go Light. I 90% of the time use a Halo Go Light. Even if I travel, like I'll be on the plane with it. I don't care. Folds up. I used to go to dance conventions with it, but now she doesn't really. She doesn't really go anymore. But my son started baseball again, so that's going to be interesting. Ooh. It's at the same place he always plays, so it'll be interesting because there's a wall you can sit on, which is great, because then you can sit, like, I don't want to sit by everybody else, because, but nobody there wears a mask. I'm like, oh my gosh, people.
Oh no.
I don't know, it's just like, I don't know what it is about that place, but, so Kevin and I just sit where, we're like really far from people, and then we don't let the other kids go because of that. Because they have a playground, it's closed now, but I mean, they used to really like to go. But my other boys, they do not like baseball. They hate it. And, I'll tell a funny story. So, oh my gosh, we went to Academy because Christopher needed pants. So we go to Academy, and Kevin is in a horrible mood. I don't know why he was in a bad mood, but he was being Mr. Grumpy Pants. And he was trying to buy these pants. And I said, Kevin, those do not fit him. Those are too small. And anyway, he would not listen to me. And I was like, okay, they're not going to fit. And then the next day he was like, they didn't even somewhat fit. He's like, you were right. I was like, I know I was right. I was like, you don't have to tell me I'm right. I know. I'm like, this is, and so I explained to him how I was trying to make sure they fit. And he just looked at me like I was crazy. And I was like, well, this is common sense. But yeah, they didn't even, I was like, Kevin, those are not going to fit. Aww. He's like, nah, they're going to fit. I was like, okay, you can come back. So they had to go back on Sunday, and I thought it was hilarious because I was like, see, if you would have listened. And then all my boys were like, see, if you just listen to mommy, she knows.
That's funny.
And he was trying to tell me, well, you know, baseball pants are not supposed to be long. And I'm like, I wasn't looking at the length. I was looking at his waist, because he's a pretty big kid. I'm like, his waist is not going to fit around there. And he was like, yes, it will. I was like, no, it's not. And I was right. I always like to be right. Sorry. It was so funny because he had to tell me, I have to go back to Academy. I was like, oh, why do you have to go back to Academy? I thought those pants fit.
It's funny.
But they can't, I mean, you can't try them on, so. I mean, he, you know.
That's funny. Yeah, my mom says that mom is always right.
Yeah, mom is always right.
From Rosie Forlano, any recommendation on floor stands? I use Q snaps. I can't seem to stitch in hand.
I don't have a recommendation because I've never used one. We're getting a light though that is supposed to be really good. And I'm hoping that will be, it's not a floor stand, but it's a light. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that might be good. But yeah, I don't have a recommendation on a floor stand since I don't use one.
Yeah. If anyone has one in the chat, if you could share it.
Yeah, that'd be great. Hoping I'm in the right spot. We're going to see.
And apparently George Clooney has a pig as a house pet.
He does.
Oh, there you go. See, I'd be like George Clooney.
And he lives in Italy. You want to go to Italy?
Yeah, I would like to go to Italy.
How would I don't know how I even know. Oh my gosh, the other day, she watches some medical show, and I was like, isn't George Clooney in that? And she goes, who's George Clooney? And I was like, okay, again. I was like, I don't know. Never mind. Wow. I was like, Google it.
Google it.
I mean, but I don't know anything about, I don't watch movies. Mm-hmm. I don't even know, I wouldn't, if you told me, okay, what movie was Brad Pitt in, I would say I have no idea. Because I don't watch movies. I have no idea. I did ask my kids the other day, I was like, do y'all want to go to a movie? Because there's a movie theater by us that I know is doing social distancing. Mm-hmm. And they just looked at me like I was crazy. They were like, no. I was like, okay. I mean, it's fine if you don't want to go to the movie. We don't have to go to the movie. I don't like the movies anyway. Yeah. One time we went to the movies and I went to sleep. I'm not kidding.
I've done that a few times.
It's just like, this is not interesting to me.
Oh. Yeah, I think it's happened to me like twice, and both times I was just very tired.
Yeah. I could sleep anywhere though. Me too. I could fall asleep anywhere. I could be, I'm like one of those people on the plane where they'd be like, ma'am, you need to leave. You need to get off the plane.
That's funny.
Okay, I think now that I've done this 3 times that I might have gotten it down. Probably get it down and then it'll be time to be done. By the time I get it down, it'll be like on the last row. Okay, let me know what questions y'all have, and so I can answer them before we sign off. If there's any true crime, I could give y'all some more recommendations. Let's see. On Sundance Now, there is there's 2 films on NES, who is a serial killer in Britain, I guess, England. Oh. And there's one that's really good and one that's not, so that was kind of good. I haven't watched the Tiger Woods documentary. yet. Everyone keeps telling me to watch it. I haven't watched it yet. I think I would watch it with Kevin. Kevin likes Tiger Woods. And I think that HBO has some new documentaries coming out. Okay, that is not straight, so I'm going to redo that. So right here, let's see, I just got a knot in my, like right there, see how that one's longer than that one? It looks funny. I'm going to redo it. Now, if you were doing this on an even weave or Lugana, you would have holes that would hit there, so it wouldn't be a big deal. See if we can get this right. Yay, looks better. Okay. And then I'll just weave this under. And then tomorrow we'll be on live stream at the same exact time with lots of finished projects, a lot of new sew-alongs, and for March and April, I'm just going to be doing a lot of stitch-alongs. And then in FQS Stitch Mania in May, I will be doing it more organized. And that's how it looks. It's looking really nice. It looks nicer than I thought it would. I get a little bit nervous when you're working with Backstitch, but I would say just try to not pull too tight, and you should be good. So, I'll switch my glasses. So these are the glasses I use. They're like a 3.0. It took me a while to find them, which I know sounds silly, but like at Walmart and at Lens Crafters, they didn't have 3.0. And so when I would try them on, like 2.0 is not strong enough. So I had to find them online. And so what I do when I'm done is put my line keeper on here. And then all this, like this is my leftover fabric right here. I just leave it on the top of my design board and I just throw it in my bag. This bag is from Christy from Crosshatch Quilts on Instagram. I just throw everything in here. And tomorrow when I come, it should all be done. So, thanks for joining me today. It was a lot of fun.
Bye, everyone.